Obi not fooling around there with the instant throw. You know, what I noticed was Obi he's just a man of many words, but very, very quick.
Oh, I'm sorry. Was I not supposed to throw it?
Trigger. No, it's all good, my guy. I'm just trying to log in. Welcome. Recap show. I'm Sean Katina, and traders stay late and traders also stay hydrated. So shout out to Hydration Nation. Let's go. Love that vodka on a nice crisp afternoon right here. I'm still not even, oh, you know why? Because I spelled my name without an A. I'm still not even logged in. All right, what we're going to do is have a big show for you here coming up today. It's always a big show, so let's hit the banger right now. What a crazy day in those markets. We will have earnings to cover, but there's not much, so we're going to look at Pepsi from this morning. We're going to have a quick look at that. We're going to go over some of the trades that we hit on today. We're going to have Brian Shannon come through from Alpha Trends. Hopefully he's ready to rock and roll. Well, he always is. I want to talk to him about oil. I saw him tweeting out a few things about oil earlier, so we'll bring that up with Brian and see what he's up to. And we will review some of the markets, where those moves were, what happened today. We waited all after, well, we didn't wait all afternoon, but we were waiting for Joe Biden to come through, and it was pretty consistent there with his talk. Nothing dramatic being said. We do have the Benzinga Newswire up right now as well. So if anything hits here on Benzinga, we'll throw down right now. Unusual option activity in Johnson & Johnson noted. Okay, that earnings coming, I believe, next week. We're waiting for Procter & Gamble this week as well coming through. But let's take a quick look at the markets as the NASDAQ today. Where's our QQQ? Up another one. Where's that DJ Khaled one? Another day right now. That's 4 days in a row, I believe, to the upside. Oh, no, we have one little red day, maybe make it 3 days, but we might as well be 4. Nice move, taking out the 50 period here on the daily. If you thought this market was exhausted to the upside, I guess we're wrong. I thought maybe today we could have got a little bit of a pullback, but this market is ready to rock and roll right now. They didn't hear anything they didn't want to hear. On Friday, we had that jobs report, much greater than expected. Market got hit early, then found that bottom and has just continued to make those moves. And I mean, here it is right here. Nice move back up. Will we see again July highs? I mean, I cannot believe that we're talking about that right now. After 500 basis points of moves to the upside, we continue to go, man, right now. Nice little move at the end of the day on the Qs. Wait a second, that was a sell. Remember we had Chris Brecher on. He'll be on tomorrow, I believe. He was talking about if there's a big sell into the close, watch out for the SPY. Did something happen here today? Maybe I have to zoom in a lot. Oh, no. I can never zoom in properly. I have to talk. I think of Michael Noss over here because I scroll with the mouse up, it goes one way. I scroll down, it goes the same way. So I'm going to have to figure out how that goes. But the SPY there, nice little dip down into the close, into that 560 sell imbalance. So yeah, man, we'll talk to Chris today or tomorrow and figure out if that's something that he always looks at into the close. We know that. But it was only 580 million to sell anyways, right? So, all right, what else was popping off here today? First of all, hit the like and please hit the subscribe. We have right now over 2,300 watching, 114 likes. Let's get that going, man. We're still working on a like and subscribe thing for this show. That will get done whenever Fabian chooses to do it. So there's that one there. We talked about earlier, remember on the show this morning, one of my best trades, and we could talk about it right now, the sticky note coming through right now. What we did have written on that, my best one today, where is it? Here it is right here. We had Alibaba. We knew that there was the Chinese stimulus package coming through. We liked Alibaba at 86.50 long. New Chinese stimulus, right? So I know hard reading, but I do write about it in here as well. So hopefully you're able to check that out. And thank you for all the likes on that post as well. Over 66 likes, 7,500 views. So that means a lot too. But I said, look at FXI. And again, FXI is a China large cap. So if China is going to implement stimulus, instead of worrying about what stocks to take, like today, Alibaba, man, big day for Alibaba. Up 2.5%, I think, almost 3%, 2.8%. Nice move to the upside. Let me do this 10 minutes right now. 10-minute chart might look a little bit better so we can see sort of the pull up there. Nice pull up there, right? We wanted, there's 86.50. You wonder why we had that as a look? There it is right there. There it is right there. Comes into play, blasted to the long side. Came into play in the pre-market. That's the shaded area. Then the open market is white. Nice move to the downside right there. Taking out that 86.50. Nice little blast up. But the name that we might have missed today, let's check out NEO. Like, what's up with that? NEO just got going there real early. And I guess we could have looked at a similar level there, 875, but if we take that 875 level, it's nowhere near as good as Alibaba gave us $1 on that break. But just NEO got real started real early. So I think the next time I'm looking at a stock like this, especially a lower price stock, let's play pre-market breaks, okay? Deal? Let's play pre-market breaks on NEO the next time we get some good stimulus. So if tomorrow, like look at this, right? Here's NEO in the pre-market 2 days ago, right? Look at this on negative news. Breaks that right off the open in a nice move down. Here we go the day before that. Into the pre-market, takes out pre-market highs and still works a little bit. Anyways, here it is right here again. The day before that, I'm going to zoom out. There we go. The day before that, there's the pre-market low break. Nice move down as well. Pre-market high break, nice move up. So I think we might have solved a little bit of a riddle here on NIO. Let's jot that down for pre-market moves on that name. KRE, the regional banks, again, continuing to be pretty strong. Surprised by that. We've had some weakness in these banks. Of course, we have JP Morgan and company coming through on Friday. The 13th, Friday the 13th coming through, JP Morgan, but there's KRE bouncing off 40 bucks. Let's see if it holds. Of course, the real winner in everything is JP because remember, they bought some assets from First Republic as well as Silicon Valley Bank. They bought assets, pennies on the dollar, and you could see since the spring when that happened, actually we got to go back a little bit longer than that. Let's go over to weekly charts here to see. Here we go, man. This was back in October. Here's the spring that I'm looking for. Nice move to the upside there as they came in and you can't see me, but I'm doing air quotations, rescued some of these financials there for JP Morgan. Nice move back up there to the upside. I really like Ramin, man. She chills out now. She's got her toque on all day. She's got a hoodie on. We'll have to get you a Trader TV Live hoodie, Ramin. Get that into. Oh, you already have one? Oh, Fabian gave it to you. That's a boyfriend move there, Fabian. I'm not trying to say anything. I'm just saying sharing hoodies. Okay, Ramin. Okay. All right, we have fun on the show, as you can see right now. Apparently that was never Fabian, so I have to clear the air there, although I'll let everyone's imagination go wild right there. Okay, what else is on board, man? XHB has had a great move. Look, this is why we have CMTs on the show, and I've learned a hell of a lot from this, and I've implemented it into my own investing. We bought Oracle near the 200 period moving average. Look at this, man. Housing market, nice bottom there near that 200 period moving average. So as that continues to hit nicely, we definitely like that play as well coming off that. So nice little home builders coming through. Let's go to see what was negative. So we have the Qs there, up 0.6. We have the SPY. I mean, it doesn't take rocket science to figure this out, man. Come over to the screen. I mean, there's a 200 period bounce. Not only was it at the 200 period, but it was at everyone's favorite level, 420, right there, not mine, right there on the SPY. I like that level for the 200 period. We want to talk about buying dips. That's what I did on Oracle. I bought 107, something like that. I'm going to double check my price because I feel like it's better than 107. Nice move to the upside there for Oracle. Again, bouncing off the 200 period. A name that we had for earnings, we're going to talk about that in a minute. What was Redsville here today? Womp womp. Oil falling back in a little bit today, coming back in. XLE holding out hope for a nice move up. But again, XLE up, USO down. So oil down 0.5% there today. OIH, oil services, upside. That's Valero. That's some of the refining. OIH, nice upside move there today. XLV. You know what I wanted to look at? I got to put it on here too. The utilities, XLU. That's another one that's been beat up pretty good down to the downside. Wait a minute, I'm hearing my name getting thrown through the mud there, Ramin. I'm going to figure out what's going on over there. I I think she's still upset about the boyfriend comments. There, okay. No, she didn't say anything. We're just playing around here. $55 XLU utilities, man. Pick some of them up. I recently bought some Enbridge, so if you want to look at that name as well, nice little bottom take on that. Utilities are having a hard time with rates so high. As rates continue to stay up there, utilities generally have a lot of debt on board and pay a nice dividend. Debt getting more expensive and dividend not mattering as much because we can get 5% or 4% in T-bills right now. So why sit in an equity? So utilities, XLU, definitely getting hit down to the downside. Okay, let's talk about some Pepsi here. We can go on to the next topic if we want. You want to hit it or me? There we go, he got that. So Pepsi today. Again, nice moves to the downside for Pepsi on the daily. Really getting crushed. I said this earlier. I think it's a little bit overblown to be like equating these drugs over to, stop laughing over there. These drugs getting equated, these weight loss drugs. We saw Eli Lilly, we can see them. They've really flown to the top side. But realistically, look, 1 to 3%, they're saying population might be affected by some of these Ozempic and Mounjaro. We can look at Novo Nordisk and Eli Lilly as well. I just think that's getting overblown. You can look at McDonald's, wrong stock. McDonald's, you can look at that stock as well. As you can see a move down. Look at this, nice move to the downside. We were able to get out of some of MCD. This is a name that we've owned for a while, but a nice move to the downside on McDonald's. And hey man, we have one of the best CMTs coming through, but you're not supposed to hold anything too much below this 200 period moving average. So McDonald's rewarding those of us that were actually disciplined and followed that out. But let's talk about what Pepsi came out with today. Pepsi's Q3 earnings per share came in at $2.25. That's better than expected of $2.15. That came through. So that was really good. Revenue, $23.45 billion, a beat on the revenue side as well. The problem was the earnings outlook. They talked about currency today. They also talked about earnings per share growth of 13%, forecasted around 12%, so that's actually a good thing. But they did reiterate their full guidance on the full year. So that helped it hold fort today, up almost 2% for these guys. The main problem, which is what was worrisome early and what I think knocked this trade down yesterday. Let me go into a 30-minute and see what happened there early this morning. Yeah, so nice move up on the EPS beat. But then the worrisome came back down in the pre-market on this number, 6.7 increase in net sales, which was actually lower than expected. So they were worried a little bit about where they were going in the future for sales. Pepsi does pull back down a little bit there. So we're going to have to see if that now isn't all clear with a nice report from Pepsi, up 2% today. So what does that mean for its brethren, Coke? Let's see what that has. A nice move up for Coke. So I don't know if Warren Buffett's going to call or anything in the next little while, but he definitely likes that play. And I bet you he was all over those Pepsi earnings. Nice move to the downside. Coke and Pepsi, not necessarily married at the hip, but Pepsi also talked about strong sales from their energy drinks. So we know Coke is in that as well. Look at Celsius, maybe Monster, to get a little bit of a play off on that. So a nice little move there as Pepsi kind of clears the way. Now, what does that mean for Procter & Gamble that are coming later on this week? Procter still well below the 200 period and making some moves back in as well. So, okay. Look, we have Brian coming up right now. The one thing that I wanted to show that he tweeted out earlier, and Brian, if you're listening right now, oil's been a big talk because, again, wartime trade, right? There's been a lot of talk like, okay, what's oil going to do? The thing is, though, right now, the nations that are involved, Israel and obviously Lebanon, not huge oil-producing nations at all. If Saudi Arabia wants to get involved and sort of Iran, more talk from Iran, but the U.S. comes out today and says that they cannot confirm, and I'm just reading news, like this is not a political show. They cannot confirm that Iran was involved at all with the planning of these attacks. So I'm just telling you what the U.S. government, that's part of what just came out there. I guess Bilkin talked about that. So they're going to double check, but nothing there. The reason why I call this chart up is, again, you know, if we're going to have Brian on, come on. I just want to talk about this little VWAP, this anchored VWAP draw right there, because right now he has an area to watch out between $80 and $84, maybe $85 here, talking about that. So we want to talk a little bit about oil, and he's saying important level just below prior resistance. So he actually VWAP'd this from the 2022 high. So there's one anchored VWAP right there, and then another one sort of combining to each other. So I actually want to ask Brian, what exactly does this mean that we now have a convergence? And it's a pretty cool one from recent lows up to those highs as well. Are we looking at an inflection point? Can we treat that maybe as a pivot? So without any further ado, are we ready over there, Ramin? All right, here we go. I'm going to hit it right now. It's Trader Talk, my favorite segment. Hey, Mr. Shannon, how are you doing today?
Good. Enough of the ado. Let's get going here.
All right, screw the small talk. You are right about that. Let's get going. I don't know if you just saw what I was talking about, but you tweeted something out. I think you're one of the better follows on Twitter. This goes back. You tweeted this out on October 4th, so it's a little bit dated at this point. But I thought it was pretty cool. If you guys can come to my screen one more time, this little inflection point there where it looks like, and you've explained it here, anchored VWAP from 2022 highs into that recent bottom from that rally. It looks like we kind of stuck that point out about 81, 82 bucks. I don't know exactly where that is, but is that sort of a new wrinkle into the anchored VWAP where you sort of join two of them and then we get that point? What say you about oil these days?
Yeah, well, what that shows, Sean, is really just a confluence of an important level. And truthfully, you could just look at it and say it was a prior level of resistance as well from that, from basically all of this year and most of the second half of the fourth quarter last year. That's why I drew that red line across showing that it was prior resistance. But it also happens to be the average price that oil traded at since the peak and from the beginning of this most recent rally. So to me, it seemed like, here's an important level to pay attention to because there's a lot of price memory in this area. So, that chart that you posted or that you're showing from October 4th, I updated it on Sunday, actually, because that's when we had the news of this war and that oil popped pretty dramatically from there, about 5% actually with that gap up. So it's just kind of strange how the technicals kind of flowed together there with the fundamentals, call them fundamentals from not really a fundamental, but more of a macro event, that it did in fact kind of show, at least for now, the low of that most recent pullback. And we've gotten a pretty good bounce from there. So I think that, long oils, now you've got to look at that most recent low in at about 81.5 as your most recent relevant higher low. That if it breaks below that, then hopefully that means that the budding uptrend here is over and oil can maybe fall back down on some of the things that you were just discussing.
Yeah, the thing about, and I know, of course, with being, chartered market technician, the thing about it is do you take in consideration any of the macro that's happening right now? I mean, I think we always do that, but are you just an if-then type of guy? Like, if this level hits, I'm taking the trade, and then I already have my stops already sort of registered in there. Do you sort of monitor trades like this when we like, I have the news in my ear all day, trying to see if there's anything hitting. Maybe in this situation, like I said, Saudi Arabia or some of these oil nations get involved. I get the feeling that you're just going to be looking at price, but keeping macro sort of in the back of your mind there.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, I like to know what's driving the headlines and shaping the psychology of what's going on, because that's ultimately what gets reflected in the market, in the chart action. But as I always say, only price pays. I've been burned so many times putting my opinion into the market that I really just prefer to stay focused on price action. The time frames that we trade, Sean, the news doesn't matter as much. It's good to have that macro outlook if, like you said, Warren Buffett on Pepsi or whatever your global views are in terms of managing a several billion-dollar portfolio. But that's not my job. My job is to be in and out and basically be out, most important, when it's unclear. So when it pulls into that level, I'm not looking to get long oil necessarily. I'm just looking at it as here's an important level. this is where we have the potential for support to be found. So perhaps the oil names, the oil stocks as well, will find a bid. And, the global macro event made that the catalyst that pushed them all higher.
That reminds me of a funny story in your most recent book, which I have over here. You got to reach over and get it. When you were trading and those cannons kept firing off, that was a great story there. You talked about not managing, getting in and out of trades. That must have been a funny experience for that particular individual. I'll get your book up in just a second. I also saw this. This might be something interesting for some of our viewers here. I saw a tweet that you had out here on IONS. Of course, I have it up right now. Ionis Pharmaceuticals. You went over a couple things here on a daily chart, and you even talked about where your stops are. And I just think that that's something that's really, really important that you and I and hopefully a lot of our viewers have in common. And that is that you don't want to get into a trade unless you have a defined out. So I don't know if you want to talk a little bit about this trade, what you're thinking here, or if there's anything else on your mind. I would love to go over that so our viewers can get a taste of when they find you at Alpha Trends, what you're all about, and then maybe they can join you in some of your discussions as well.
Yeah, Sean. I mean, I think that, we hear a lot of complaints about what's on social media, on Twitter, X, whatever you want to call it. And that people change their minds and they say, oh, I bought this yesterday, but there's no track record for it or any tweet, whatever. So I've always said that risk management is job number one. You know that as well. Yes. We've got to say, where am I wrong before this thing turns to a disaster? And one of the biggest mistakes that I see people not making is the biggest mistake they make is to not. Sorry, I've been sick the last 2 days and my head's not quite clear yet. But anyways, is to not mention a stop. It's pretty irresponsible, especially when they aren't clear about what their particular time frame is. So I'm always clear. Listen, I'm a swing trader. Here's where my stop goes. But I didn't say it this time, but I also make it very clear, this is where my stop goes for me. Make the trade your own. I'm just giving you the framework to go create your own idea. I'm not here to tell you here's what to do, but if you do it, here's where the worst case. So you can't I've had people come back to me, 6 months later, hey, Brian, do you still like that stock? And it's down 40%, should I add? Like, are you kidding me? Did you not remember the part about the stop? No, I haven't thought about that stock in 5 months and 28 days. So it's, this is just another swing trade setup. It's a good chart. It's got great volume, 1.3 million shares average daily volume, and looks like it can move higher again. I'm a little bit typically gun shy in terms of position size on biotech stocks, but this one looks good. So I'm giving it a shot. I'm long some here.
So stop there at 44-ish that I see?
My current stop is 46.03 actually.
Okay, nice. Well, good luck with that position. I just want to come over to my screen right now because great minds think alike, Brian. So I'm not sure why me and you think alike, because you shouldn't be thinking like me, but I should definitely be thinking like you. And there it is right here. So I just want to say this because no matter what Brian and I talk about, I think we're hitting on the exact same points. Like, here's me going long Tesla, and look what level I'm going long against, this 263. Well, guess what? It breaks, and there's my disciplined out. But then I noticed that, hey, it breaks, and it breaks on a green candle, which we get some buy action. So I buy it right back. So there's my in, a couple outs for profit. Then we take one last fill there. We actually wind up getting stopped out right here. And then we buy it back. And again, like going long at 263.40 and getting out on a 263 break, that's 40 cents. But then my next take on that is 90 cents back in again. So the risk to reward definitely pays off. And then we do it again right there. We go long again, get stopped out to buy it right back and have that sort of pay dirt coming back in before eventually, but right before I got to prepare a little bit for the show. So we get stopped out at 357, run over here and get ready. And then there's my stop to close the end of the trade. But there it is right there. So, I feel like you're a real one, Brian, and that's why I'm really happy to have you back on, because that's exactly what we do on the show every single day. You don't Yeah, I know. We don't take longs or we don't take shorts unless we have stops, because that's a disaster waiting to happen. Have you ever gone maybe on, I don't want to say on vacation because again, that would be irresponsible, but maybe a stop forgot to trigger, you forgot to put something in. We don't have much time, but that's probably happened to you. I mean, as a trader, I know that's happened to me. You run out, you come back, you're like, uh-oh, my stop didn't trigger and I'm in trouble. I think we're all human.
I have. Or sometimes I just don't set it because, typically I don't set the stop because I'm there in front of the computer.
Okay.
I'll set a lot of alerts, or if I really think that I'm concerned the stop's about to get hit, I'll watch it super careful.
Right.
I'll be looking at a 1-minute chart or something like that. So, but I have had it happen where I just go downstairs to make a sandwich. I come back and go,
Love
holy
sandwiches.
crap, what happened? Bang! It's yeah, right in the face. So yeah, of course, it's happened to all of us, Sean.
I only said that too because sandwiches is like my favorite food. I love sandwiches. Like the wife phoned me today.
You and Joey.
She's like, you got to pick something up because my daughter has hockey. She's like, pick up dinner. And she's like, what do you like? I said, I'll make burgers, man. I'll go pick up some ground beef, make those and throw those on the barbecue. You consider a burger a sandwich? I kind of don't really, but I guess it's meat in between two buns. I don't know.
Yeah, I think you'd have to ask Joey Tribbiani. He's the real sandwich expert.
Okay, well, we'll see if we can get him on. Here's your book right now, Anchored VWAP, the perfect combination of price, time, and volume. Maximize your trading gains. Make sure you pick that up. How did you figure out this cover? I kind of like that there. You got like a little bit of a green. Is that because it's like red is the sell, yellow is maybe the neutral, and green is the buy? We got that right, or?
Bingo, you got it. That's it. My wife made the design, and she did an amazing job with it. It looks awesome.
Great. It does look awesome. And again, congratulations on all the success. I do recommend that all our viewers go and pick that up. It's Brian Shannon. Next time, maybe we'll do a Q&A, and we'll have maybe 5 or so more minutes. Would that be okay with you?
That sounds fun. Let's do it.
Perfect. Let's do it. Brian Shannon from Trader Talk. Make sure you check him out on Twitter, X, all that, at Alpha Trends. Thank you so much, Brian. Say hi to the family and good luck with your trades.
You too. Thanks.
Ciao. That's Trader Talk, my favorite. Look, I don't, again, real talk here. Like, I don't read many trading books, and that's to my own demise. I understand that. But this was a great one, and I use VWAP every single day, Anchored VWAP and VWAP. Definitely go check that out, especially if you're looking for some indicators and things like that. And I'm really glad that Brian and myself, we kind of acknowledge that you have to be responsible with your trades. And when he mentioned he's a risk manager first, how many times on the show have we mentioned that over and over again? So shout out to Brian for sure. Okay, Meta trade review. We just did a little bit of a review there on Tesla. The reason why I want to do Meta again is because real see real. And I just want to talk about that because we don't have too many trades on Meta today, but I feel like they were all around some decent areas. All right, so right away, we had Meta. We really liked the 320 break. But the problem with this trade is, I don't really see a problem other than we got a little excited because we kept on seeing these bottoms down there at 319 roughly. I got to take another drink here. Checks watch. Oh yeah, 100,000 words today. No, does Apple can it do that? That would be pretty sick if it could somehow figure that out. I guess we need to have the microphone on all the time. All right, so this take right there, let's just review this real quick. We wrote down 320. So many times it was bouncing off. And I said to myself, it's now past 10 o'clock. We've sort of been disciplined enough to stay away from this trade during this choppiness. Well, once we got this level, I wanted to go with it. I thought we could have a chance to not only take that high, but then go the rest of the day. So this is a 320 long. First out's 320.50. So that's our next out right there, 320.75. All right, but then it fell back in, and this is where we're like, okay, we have to defend this 319 area. I had too many shares. I didn't want this to break back down below 318. First of all, if you're still here, hit the like and the subscribe, man. We got to get this up. Only 242 likes. That was a great interview, no? With Brian, not a great interview, discussion with Brian Shannon. There it comes back in. We get stopped out. So that one, super chat. You got a super chat? Okay, I'll definitely check that out right now. We don't want to ignore any super chat. What's up, Ian Rispetto? Hey, Sean, what do you think of CRM? We will do that, man. I love CRM. I love that long term. I love Einstein. I love the factory there. The push through. They don't have a factory. I love what they're doing at CRM with everything with Customer relations management, that's obviously what it stands for. HubSpot's been going to the upside as well. I will talk about that in just a quick second. Let me just finish this meta. All right, then finally, we found a local high. The market started to pull back a little bit. So we started shorting off 322, 322.50 to be exact. Nice take on that one. Brought that back in, got about 70 or 80 cents back to the 50 period. Was really hoping for that move to come down in, but the market just kept being strong. I was really fighting the trend here, going the other way. And whenever you fight the trend, this is why I want to talk about it. It's quite clear the trend is upside, but you can find some shorting opportunities. And there's the flat out right there. So this trade probably small profit, but still negative on Meta right there. But then this comes, I would think so, negative on the day on Meta after that trade. I think this trade was probably okay. Then it comes back in here and look at this. So this is, maybe I can zoom in a little bit more to talk about this, because here's the take at 320.22, and this is off that dramatic drop that we saw about 1 o'clock come into the market, right? So nice move back in, but then I was like, okay, it's going to support 320, right? We don't put it on our sticky note. We don't do all this work for no reason. Comes back in, but then it breaks 320, and look where we get out. 319.90. You can see that tick right here on the outside, 319.90. So a little bit of slippage there, but this take, guys, this take is only 30 cents, right? But then we buy it right back. And look at this buyback. We buy it back at 320.20. Let it hold 320. That first take to the upside is 40 cents. Then it comes back, we get reloaded. Then it goes boom, boom, boom to the upside. And then there we go. That's $2.75 on that take. And then my last, oops, wrong zoom, dog. Zoom back the other way. My last take right there on a 50 period break of 320.50. So again, a couple bangers right there on Meta. Definitely a well-traded stock for me there. Coming back in, reloading it, taking it to the upside, and hitting it right there. So, hey, we can't do this without a roll call. I will actually, because Ian, you super chatted, quick time, man. Gonna get in trouble here. CRM. It is roll call, but we're gonna do this real quick. The stock blitz. All right, Mark Benioff and friends. You've been buying this. You bought this Ian Rispetto at a bang up level, my friend. This is exactly what you want to do. You want to buy these names as they fall into the 200 period moving average. Now, I don't know what your time frame is. Actually, I think you said it on the chat. Didn't you say for long term? If it's for long term, then yeah. I like big cap tech. This is one of the biggest, not one of the biggest, but it's out there. 200 billion right now for Salesforce. Definitely gets a lot of analyst attention. So check that out. See how many buys and holds are on for them. We don't have to worry about EPS, man. They're a really solid company coming through. They could split. I don't think the price is high enough to do that yet. But Salesforce right there, $200, a good drop-off spot. I really like that. I think if you're worried about anything, you want to see when's their earnings. Oh, we don't have it till December 6th. So I would say you stay long until you break this 195. I like that look. I like Salesforce. Now that I see this, looks a lot like Oracle. I might buy more. I've been in Salesforce for a hell of a long time. All right, Fabian, I'll do it. It's now roll call. Who's still here? Who's not, man? Traders stay late. What you can do is hit the like button. 283, I like. Let's see if we can get that to 300. Traders are here. Get upside if you're in this. Let's go to live chat so I don't miss anybody. What's up to Chris Schrum? What's up to Natalia is here as well. 420 Bud Monsters here. Oh yeah, you know what? We didn't do any spins. Let's see if we can lose 20 points right now. What's up to Bears vs. Bull? What's up to Juan? Ooh, hey, Big Spenda. He's spinning 50 right now. Shout out. What's up to Dr. Strange? What's up to Matt Carnes? Oh, no. Come on, Streamlabs, man. Come on, I don't want to lose these points. There it is. What's up to Ozan? Again, Hayes Records is here. And a big wave to everybody that's here. Shout out, man. I hope everyone had a great one. Thank you, Mr. Westermeyer, for that. Another great show. Another one. Look, I just want to thank everybody for watching, man, no matter who's here in the chat or who's not. This is the best trading community in the world. Shout out to Bears vs. Bulls. Shout out to Johnny Knox, man. The Katina man, yeah, shout out to my good friend as well, Obi, who did a great job with me on the show the last 2 days. We have Neil going to be sitting in the big seat beside me tomorrow. That should be a lot of fun, as per usual. Obi will be joining Sharif. And the reason why I said that Katina man, that's a Sharif sentence right there. So shout out to everybody. What's good, Daryl, man? You know what's good? Not the Packers. They should have won last night. They were not good. But hey, did you hear that funny story? I got invited by Gillette to the box for the Raptors game, 1 ticket. So I'm trying to bargain with those guys. See if I can get, hey man, maybe we can have a Trader TV Live party there before the game. Raptors home opener, October 25th. Thank you to my sponsor, Benzinga, as well. And yeah, it was a good one. Thank you so much. You know, you don't have to, I would like everyone to be a sub. You have to be a sub to be in this chat. So anybody asking about what's up with that. Hey, look, tomorrow, why not stay long, man? I feel like tomorrow's going to be another day. Oh, there it is. Hit it. This and that. I feel like tomorrow's going to be another long day. Why not? I didn't hear anything today that would change my opinion on that. But make sure you join me at 8:30. Check it out at Trader TV Sean on X. I'll post up the sticky note. I'll give you my opinions on what we think tomorrow. But we got to get a good night's sleep in us before we do that. I'm on my way, Marissa. Got to pick up that ground beef. Homemade hamburgers. This is what it's all about. We're going to have some of those tonight. And make sure you have those either on a lettuce wrap if you're trying to be all healthy, or brioche buns. You got to have it on a good potato bun or a brioche bun to hit that. I know Obi's loving hamburgers as well. So thank you so much to everybody. Thank you, Juan. I see that gift for 100. We'll spin that tomorrow. Make sure you join me, though, tomorrow at 8:30. I've had a blast with you today. Thank you to Brian Shannon for coming through as well. Make sure you find him at Alpha Trends. It's been a good one. Again, join me tomorrow. Join everybody at Trader TV Live. Thank you so much for watching. Go follow me, hit like, subscribe, and leave some comments, man. Let me know how you like the show. Thank you to everybody, and I'll see everybody tomorrow. Ciao.